It's Christmas!
Inside Thursday night, how's it going? Alright, strip back, good crack, multi-trade podcast. Share the knowledge you know, help to make our sector grow. Everybody's learning from experts and the journeyman. Insights.
Aoibhe,
Hello.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Keith.
Nice to catch up again after, 10 years?
A lot, way more than 10 years.
We've all been doing our thing for the last few years anyway.
Absolutely.
We've been keeping a bit of a trend on this season and trying to get as many Balbriggan people in as we possibly can. But myself and Keith were talking Balbriggan or Balrudry.
Oh, I'll always say Balrudry.
What's
I'll always say Balrudry.
What's it say on your letters or on posts?
No, it says Balbriggan.
That is the most controversial question, isn't it? Around Balbriggan. But
South Balbriggan.
yeah.
Balbriggan. Love it.
We ask all of our guests to go back a bit.
Yeah.
Bit of trauma, PTSD,
Absolutely.
childhood. What was it like for yourself growing up in Balbriggan, school life and the likes?
Oh, yeah, I actually loved this question. Yeah, it was good. Do you know what? I loved growing up in Balbriggan. I was in school in Balbriggan. I had a great childhood, great friends, still friends with all the girls from back in the day, back in my childhood. And loved school, loved Balbriggan. There was loads of girls from everywhere, like all over, like Balbriggan, Rushlusk, Skerries, everything. So yeah, I loved growing up in Balbriggan, I did.
Yeah, there was a lot to be said for the Loretta, wasn't it, compared to, like, obviously myself and Keith in the tech.
Yeah.
And
Not a lot to be said for that.
no. There was always a big thing that, like, it was always real strict in the Loretta. Was that true?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sure, Denise and Jen would tell you, like, it was strict. It was
all us outside the gates then.
waiting.
Wait.
Yeah, wait.
Wait for all the women.
We wouldn't step over the line though.
Oh, no.
Into it now.
You
We'd be
stood
chased
behind the
out.
gate, Keith.
You knew they'd be coming out, like, looking for a bit of fun because they've had such a strict day, like, compared to what it was like in the tech. I know, like Jen, Keith's wife, she
She came,
transferred in.
she came to the tech as quick as she could.
Oh,
yeah.
did she?
Yeah,
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah.
So when
came
did
to
she
the tech.
leave?
So after junior cert, the way you could do
No
it.
way.
If you didn't want to do, you had to do TY, did you?
Yeah, we had to do. It was mandatory in our school, so yeah, we had to do fourth year.
So
I actually love fourth year, but I didn't realise Jen left after that. Oh, no way.
Yeah. The rest
So
is
that's
history,
how
as
the
they
love
say.
story.
Yeah.
Though, actually, Denise would say the same. Like, if she had the choice to leave, she would have.
Yeah.
Went, but I think
Oh no,
at
I
the
wasn't
time-
allowed to leave.
Yeah, she
God,
wasn't
I
allowed.
hope
That's the thing. Like,
Papa Dev wouldn't have let that happen.
yeah, she wasn't allowed to come into the degenerates. That.
That's what it was. Yeah. You're letting yourself down when you come to the tech.
No, stop putting yourselves down. Don't be so silly. Look at you now. Doesn't matter where you come from. That's what I always say.
There's a lot to be said for it. But look, I guess, like, looking where we are now, then looking where you are now, obviously your journey had to start somewhere. Like, so did you start working while you were in school? Did you get any, like, weekend work? Or
Yeah,
get
so
into-
I worked in, like most, I worked in Soup Valley and Balbriggan.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it all started.
Good man, Moriarty.
Yeah,
Shout out to
good.
Moriarty.
Yeah, good lad. And I loved it. Jerry, what was his name? Jerry Murphy.
Yeah,
He was the manager there back in the day.
Buckley.
Oh, Jerry Buckley.
Buckley,
That's
yeah,
it.
that's right.
Good man, Keith. Jerry
That
Buckley.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was on £5. I think it was like £5.30 or something.
Flush.
So no, I was 16, living my best life.
Yeah.
And so that's where I started. Yeah, and then just worked. I finished school and worked my way through. Worked in retail. Went to Australia. We were talking about Australia earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it, and then came home and just wanted to change. And then now I'm doing what I'm doing.
And was Australia the choice? Like, did you go for the choice, or was it a recession? Or
Oh no! It was a choice. I did my college part time at night, so it was like marketing, business, events. So I did it for 4 years part time, and then I knew after that I was like, right, get me out of here. I was like, everyone was going to Australia. Everyone actually
Well,
gone to
that's the
Australia.
envy of it. That's what
Yeah.
I sort of envy it, because myself and Denise went on the basis of the trade industry and the recession.
Okay.
And when we went over there, I wouldn't even say the whole of Ireland, it was the whole of Europe. Maybe
Yeah.
the world was just all.
I was there.
There.
influxing
When
into
did you go?
Australia.
Excuse me.
That would have been, we qualified 2011, so it would have been 2011.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
No, I went 2014, so I was a little bit
Yeah.
after.
So 2011, at that stage, there was recession, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Anybody who got out early when they could, did.
Yeah.
we had to wait to finish our qualification as the electrician. So 2011 qualified. I qualified in January, and I was gone before the summer.
Yeah, you were gone out there.
And I remember at the time, like, so we were we stayed in hostels, and there was actually signs there when I was there, like saying no Irish need apply, like, you know what I mean, for rent. So
really,
we had to try and get a rental property with an Argentinian couple.
And
have them go in as the lead renters, because they didn't want the Irish, but they took the Argentinians, you know.
No way.
Crazy, you know.
Okay, no, well, I wasn't there at that time. I was a little few years ahead of you, and I was welcomed with open arms. And I lived with my friend who was from Balbriggan. So I lived with her and started,
It does make a difference. It really does. Like, 'cause I remember even
she's Australian,
yeah, if you have somebody from Australia, or you have somebody even that was Irish that was there, and they've bedded themselves in, and they've got that community. Actually, Paul Webster, who we've had on this season, his sister-in-law Sarah, like, she put us up in Sydney.
No way.
We were trying to decide at the time, were we going to go home or were we going to stay?
Yeah.
And her husband was off actually working in countries around Australia, so he was off in Asia and then dropping back in.
Coming back in, like what is it called? Fly in, fly out.
But we, she was happy for the company, you know what I mean?
Delighted.
We were just at the time like, geez, we have to come home to Ireland. And probably the best decision we made, for sure. Like, I don't think we would have stayed there. You know, that would have been a thing similar to yourself. You get in, experience it, and get out.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. I just, in and out. Like, I could have stayed there. I got sponsored, and at the time, but my mum wasn't well, so I came home. Right. It was just, I felt so far away. Do you know, that was like so far.
It is so far away.
And like, I remember coming back from my graduation, and do you know what? That's for anyone listening that's looking to go to Australia. Just don't come home in the first year or two, because that makes you homesick, and then you have that taste of being at home. Whereas if I had it pushed out for the year or whatever, you know, you don't have, that much of a pull back then.
Past the threshold nearly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Definitely.
And then sure, leading on to the blog, The Secret Obsession, how did that, where did you get the inspiration for that?
When I seen that as one of the questions, like, God, that's like taking it back, like, because it is really. So basically, long story short, I loved writing growing up, so I loved it during school. Like, wasn't very articulate, but as in, it was just the whole thing of writing, putting stuff on paper. Started the blog in 2012. And just enjoyed writing, set up my own website, figured it all out myself, didn't ask anybody, just researched everything myself, set it all up. Then I did that for a few years. Then I was doing Snapchat, and as the years have evolved, I've evolved obviously with it. So I went on, so it was Facebook first, then it was Snapchat, and then Instagram. Then I moved to Australia just before the end of Snapchat kind of days, and then started Instagram, I'd say 2015. But then it didn't really kind of, let's say, take off, and I didn't start using it as a business till probably 2019. So,
it's mad. Those early days, like, to be able to actually just see the potential in something, though, and latch onto it.
Well, that was the truth. Yeah, that's what it was back in the day. Like, I didn't really kind of see it. I didn't envision it being a brand or being, even making €1 out of it.
Doing, like.
Exactly. And that was obviously a long, 2024 now. So, that was 12 years ago. Do you know what I mean? At the time.
And what did you start blogging about first? Was it like just daily life, things you were doing, or things you wanted to do?
Like, just outfits, clothes, fashion, celebrity things, like things I saw people wearing, and, things like that. It was just kind of it was more like a little blog. And that's what it was, just to keep track.
Yeah. And was there many people doing it at the time? Like, was there anyone you were looking at saying?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't a lot of us. There was only, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 that at the time that were doing it. And then, just as it evolved, I just evolved with it. And when I came back from Australia, that was my kind of, I came back, I got a job in the airline industry, and then we went, I just kind of ran with it then. So,
So I remember something similar to that, because I worked in Echo Exile, in Balbriggan.
Oh, yeah.
And Suzanne Jackson at the time was working in Exile.
No way.
And I remember her having the thoughts, of doing something similar, and having, the blog. And I remember a lot of people talking at the time, so where's that going to go? Is that just for yourself?
That's a real Balbriggan thing.
Yeah.
I just think it's an Irish thing.
An Irish thing, yeah. We've mentioned it loads of times.
Yeah. Where
it's an Irish thing.
Like a begrudgery thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, and believe it or not, whether you agree, disagree, it is, and it's a known thing. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Was it simpler though at the time when you were just setting up? Because I think it's more easier now for people to gain
a following.
Yeah, to gain a following over completely nothing. Like, was it easier? Well, not easier in a sense of, you know, hard work had to go into it. Like, but because it was such at an early stage for yourself, it's nearly like, not like trailblazer is a good word, but I think it's a good name for it. Like, you're doing it for so long now that you could be considered a trailblazer in the blogging industry.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But it's, you know, when you're starting off from scratch with it, you literally you have the blank canvas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you were to start now, it's a lot easier for you to go viral, or it's a lot easier for you to bang up reels every day and get 100k followers.
Yeah.
Like, I started from zero, you know, back in the day when it was like hard to get to 5k, hard to get to 10k, you know, and whereas nowadays it's a lot easier. TikTok, I'm not on TikTok personally, but TikTok has a lot to answer for, as in you can literally put up a video and you can have 5 million views. And, you know, it doesn't happen to everybody, of course, but it's a lot easier to gain a following now than what it was back in the day. So one thing I will always say is that, like, I have the most loyal following. Like, some of my girls are there from 2012.
Jen's
they are there.
Them,
Huh?
Jen's one of them.
But like, honestly, like literally from 2012, they have followed my whole life for the last 12 years. And like, even I got a lovely message from somebody today. I obviously just come back from Disneyland Paris and had like the nicest time. And I really took that time out offline for the last few days to enjoy it with my kids, and she was like, it's so lovely. Like, you're so real. You still stay true to yourself all these years later. Yeah. And it's like, although I do make money online, I also just treat it like, well, I have a life as well. And no matter how many followers I have, I still will always focus on like my kids, my family. And that's the main thing and most important.
Yeah, like when people make the choice to follow you.
Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day,
because they like you,
you'll still continue living your life with or without them. Obviously, things will change. You know what I mean? They've chosen to come and follow you. You're still going to keep doing what you've been doing in order for them to come and follow you. So you haven't actually done anything different in your life to gain those followers, which is great because it's organic, you know? Yeah,
and I think that's for me why they all a lot of them stay, is because they're like, well, she's just like one of us. Like, you know, I still have my full-time job. I do that as my part-time job. I still have 2 kids. I'm on my own. I'm a single mum. So I'm juggling it all just like everyone else. But I suppose they follow that journey as well. So it's nice.
Yeah, and look, well, obviously you're doing something right, because like well-known brands are reaching out for you, like Pennies, for example. Like, how does that come about, and how do they make contact with you and see you as someone to represent them?
For me, I'm all, as you said upstairs, like I'm all about like organic. So like if a brand reaches out to me that I have organically used at home from, like, let's say this year, like 2 big jobs, let's say worked with Petit Flu, and like they're a brand that I'm having in my fridge since I was a kid. Legends. You know, so like that was a big deal, you know. Charlotte Tilbury, one of the biggest makeup brands in the world, like unbelievable, like to be asked to do a job with them, you know, Dublin Airport, you know, really big brands, you know. And like, so how that kind of all works is that, let's say the brand might reach out to you on Instagram, or I have an agent, I'm with Andrea Roach Agency, so they might, Hannah in there looks after me, and they'll reach out to the agency, and then they'll get in touch, a brief will be sent, we'll go back and forth, and that's kind of how it works. But I do put a huge focus on, like, if it is a brand that slots into my life that I use, that I have used. But if it's a brand that's totally left field, I literally would just straight out say no and be like, nah, it's just not for me. And I don't care how much money's involved. It's about authenticity and obviously loyalty for me. So so that's a big thing for me.
What's the community like? So like, obviously influencers, a lot of them out there. Men, women, kids even now. Is the community a good community for people actually looking out for each other? Yeah, like, do you know what? When I was reading the questions, you know what I said I am somebody, it's not that I just stay in my own lane. I do my own thing, and I cared a lot about what other people were doing before COVID. And I don't know about yous, but COVID totally changed my life in so many different ways. Also changed my mindset with the whole thing of like,
lads, we don't have that much time. Anything can change in a heartbeat. Anything can change in a second. And it's like, the way I see it is like, I was putting so much focus on other people and thinking, oh, what was this person doing? And now I couldn't give a shite.
Yeah.
I am literally, I have blinkers on and I'm just in my own lane. I do my own thing. I don't care. I don't need to post 20 stories a day. If I'm not online, I'm not online. If I have to be, I have to be. Like, you know, my focus just changed. Like, my kids are my priority.
I was going to say that come with motherhood, because I've noticed that even with my wife, like, you know, with kids and stuff like that, I feel like the focus changes, and, you know, anything that you might consider to be something that could be in any way weighing you down, or, you know, causing you any type of stress or unwanted stress, you just, women just seem to just, there's the bin and it's going in there, and my life is this way now, you know.
Well, it definitely did come with being a mum, 100%. But I suppose, like, by 2020, Lily was 2 at that stage. So for me, it definitely played COVID. But I suppose then I went on to have Hugo then. So I suppose maybe just more stressors in my life.
Yeah.
And I just realised what was important, what wasn't, and what my priorities were and what wasn't. You know, but staying in your own lane and not letting the noise. I wouldn't say I get a lot of hate like back in the day, maybe, but not now. Like now, and also now people know, they're like, shit, she's gonna put our names up, which I am. I really don't give a shit. I will share. You know what I mean? You send me a message, that name, honey, you're going on my story.
It's like a comedian, really, isn't it? When they're getting trolled on stage, the only way to get it back, like, is actually engaging and putting it out there. You know what I mean? 'Cause at the end of the day, a lot of those trolls, they like to be behind the keyboard.
Behind the keyboard or behind the screen,
Sadly, unfortunately, lads, though, some of them trolls are very close to home, you know. So
that's,
you know, it's always going to be, you know, somebody you know, and
we touched on begrudgery as well. So you know,
it's the harder part with it though, then as well, isn't it? Because you have to sort of pick yourself up, get back on your feet again. But not that they knock you off your feet, but it would definitely throw your trajectory a bit, like. When that's going on in the background, you're trying to live your life, you're trying to do you, and somebody else's begrudgery or like it's probably not even a hate, like it could literally be a jealousy or whatever it is behind
irritation or something.
An irritation or something is like trying to knock somebody else's goodness, and we've touched on it before, like even in our industry, because like the trade industry is coming up like tenfold now, like behind.
And look at you, doing so well. Like I'm so impressed by you guys. I don't think you realise. I'm so impressed. Like it's so cool. And like in your industry, like is there anyone even doing something like this? Like in Ireland?
I don't think it's so in Ireland.
No,
we felt it. Like, and we had our own little spat, didn't we? Like with somebody.
They're all feeling threatened by Keith and Steve-O.
Or even to the point where like you could be doing work for somebody and they'd be saying you need to work a bit harder and get off that TikTok thing, and you're just like, hold on a minute, like this is something we like doing and it doesn't affect our work. It's a hobby. It's like playing football. To us it is anyway. Like you starting the blog, it's something you like to do.
And you never know where this might go and how it'll grow, and you know, and like stick with, like, you know, back in the day, I remember when I first started, I remember my dad had absolutely no interest. The minute I started telling him what I was making in terms of with jobs, he was like, hold on a minute now, Aoibhe. And, you know, then his ears puckered up, you know. So
I think it is the thing with parents though as well, isn't it? Like, you know, you just want to make sure that,
like, do your parents not, like, obviously, see now, like, we're well forward, like, back in the day with my dad, it was very different, but, like, obviously your parents both know, like, they probably think it's deadly to be able to listen to you in the car.
I remember I walked in, actually, it was around, because I called you in January, wasn't it? Just right after Christmas. So I was mulling over it over the Christmas last year and New Year's over Guinness. And I finally got the ball.
Come on, Guinness, sponsor them.
Yeah.
Come on, Guinness. Come on, 0-0.
But I rang Keith, like, but I remember when Keith gave me the yes, because I didn't say nothing to my parents at the time, but when Keith gave me the yes and said, right, we're doing it, I walked in and said, I'm doing a podcast, you know? Now at the time, I was like, oh, yeah, fair play to you, whatever. You know,
little entrepreneur over here.
Whatever that is.
Doing a podcast.
But now it's like, my dad sending me messages, you know, on WhatsApp, pictures of screenshots of the charts, like, so whenever we're in the top 10, like, or the top 5, it's like,
so proud.
You're back in the top 5 again, and I'd be
we'll
the same.
get you into the top 1 or the number 1 spot now with this one.
Fingers crossed before the end of the year.
That's what we got you in, you know. That's what we got you in.
Oh, could you imagine?
But yeah, it is like it's parents looking out for their kids.
Yeah,
and it's just like nobody wants to see, and I think like we've had it with other guests where they're just like, you're looking out for number one.
Yeah, totally.
And then it's like everybody else can fall in line.
Yeah.
Your parents, in a sense, you're probably still always going to be their number one. Like,
yeah.
So they don't want to see you making a stupid mistake or, going down a road that's not going to be beneficial to you.
Yeah.
But even if it's not beneficial to you money-wise, it's still going to be something you enjoy.
Well, I have a question for you. So in terms of like doing this and obviously people getting in touch and all this or whatever, have you seen anyone like around you that would have been like, or would have been like, oh, oh, right, what's this? Or had a little bit of begrudgery towards you?
I would have said that's the key at the time. I would have said, I get more likes, or the podcast gets more likes on Instagram and Facebook from people that I've never met.
Yeah.
And I've never, or very rarely, get a like off people that I know for years, It's crazy,
And that is the truth. I have more strangers following me than I do. Now, as I said, like, look, it's grown over time and there's a lot more people I know now who do follow me, and you know what I mean? Even Jen, like, to know that Jen, went to school with her, and so lovely. But like, you will find, you definitely will find as time goes on and as you explode, as you get big. And honestly though, as you get bigger, like, even from January to now, and like me even seeing the growth in you is like, it's insane. So, keep her lit, and like, you never know where it may take you, but genuinely you will see the bigger you get, the more begrudgery seeps in. And it is from people, unfortunately. And it's mad because it's like, yous are just doing a passion that yous have, doing something that yous have a passion for.
Yeah.
And like, that's it. But just block out all the noise and
look,
keep going, no matter
it's
what.
helping people. Like, how many people have we got into jobs even that were looking for jobs? Like, apprentices looking for jobs. And we've like the likes of the challenge while they're making a bit of fun and stuff.
Yeah.
But then even leading back,
sadly, I can't help. But
we
not
want to
today.
try and get you on.
Would you get a lot of people now like sending you messages where you've done something or you've shared something and it's actually helped them out, like, and it's actually then raised your confidence?
With like, I can't, lads. If I had €1, and I'm not just saying this, if I had €1 for over the years of the amount of people that I've helped in some way, shape or form, whether that be sharing my story of becoming a single mum, or whether that is, through hate online, or whether that's even just sharing my travel stories. And, even like the amount of people now, like, please send us your tips for Disneyland Paris or whatever. I have a massive thing wrote out for them, and people will screenshot that and they will actually genuinely use that. Obviously, I'm cabin crew as well, so travel tips, everything, like, it's lovely that, like, me just sharing my life helps people in some way, shape,
and
or
does
form.
it help you putting the stuff out there? Comments coming back in. Have you ever,
no, like,
tips and tricks from your own posts?
Yeah, no, but you know what? I just, how I see it is like, obviously it is a business, it is a business now. And like, I am very careful in different things. I would say back in the day, I was a little bit more, brazen, with whereas I very much am focused on the fact that, I might have this person or this company that I'm working with, or this company working with. And like, that's just, as a businesswoman, that's what you have to do. And you have to have that awareness, But no, I just suppose just stay in my own lane and just focus on me. And
Yeah, it's good. Like obviously, Keith there touching upon helping yourself, and it is mental health is massive.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt,
it can really knock you for 6 if it's not within. And I've seen you were on Mark. Was Mark Fennell? Is it?
Yeah. So Mark, he's my life coach. Well, haven't actually coached with him now in a good. Actually, this year. So like, would have stopped at the end of last year, but he's now a friend and he is incredible. Mark Fennell is his name, and he is a life coach for over 20 years, and he helped me through some of the maddest times in my life. Yeah. And, I do think mental health is so huge. Like, it's, and I don't think there's still not enough people talking about it, and especially in men, and like, that is without a shadow of a doubt. I think men have this thing in their head that they can't be seen as weak, they can't be seen as, so anytime I see anything relating to men's mental health, I welcome it, because it's like, men need to know that it's okay to talk. And I do think it is getting better. I do think that, it is getting better, but I do think looking after your mental health is so important. You're so right.
No, I thought that was great, because I even seen you jumping in the car with him. And
we did the car film. It's class. That was deadly, yeah.
But it's just then, taking that transition and like what you said, like from a life coach to a friend.
Yeah.
You know, you were able to, if you think about it yourself, like you have a smile on your face talking about it.
Yeah.
Now. You're not bringing up like a situation where like, you know, you could be thinking about, geez, I spoke to him about this or I spoke to him about that and it's still really weighing me down. You're considering him a friend, which means that you possibly have come across that bridge now.
Oh, listen, lads, without, like, if I even... Like, and I have like a really good post for the end of the year, because if even 23, like Aoife of 2023 could see Aoife of 2024, like, no joke, I'm like a different person. And I really, this year I blocked out so much. I just blocked out as much as I possibly could in order to push through. And I knew that if I didn't block out that noise, like even more than what I was before, I knew that I was just staying in the same position. And I felt like from like the summer to now, like I've just mentally grown so much. Like, and I do think that that is all about blocking out all the noise, all the, you know, everything that's trying to get in on top of you and just blocking it out as much as you possibly can. And Mark would have definitely taught me that, you know, over the years. But it's about it eventually getting into your head, you know? You know, and it has to, you know, sit with you, you know, and you have to do your own work as well. So,
Well, fair play to him.
Yeah, well, like
He's
everyone
great.
needs that. Like me and Stephen would confined. I'd say it's a lonely place when you're the blogger and you're the face of it. You know what I mean? Where in other industries you can bounce off somebody.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So
it is defo difficult, Keith, you know, with like, so take for instance, like I don't talk all the time on Instagram, but it's not because I'm not feeling great. It's because I do find that like you get judged for no matter what comes out of your mouth. So like for me, like I could be totally grand and totally having a great day, go on stories, and somebody could message me being like, oh my God, you look so upset in those stories. I hope you're all right. And I'm like, honey, I am great. Thank you so much. Not in a condescending way, just in a, I'm actually doing great, but thank you. Like, you know, and people just have this, you know, people even like messaging me over the last few days, is everything okay? Is everything all right? I'm like, you know, no, I'm literally just living my real life, you know? And, you know, even still today, like, well, you haven't put up the stories at Disneyland. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know, relax. I'm coming. I'm coming back, like, you know? But yeah, you're so right.
but it's part of you as well. You spoke about being authentic and stuff. Like you are a mother of two, and you do have a job within the airline industry. You know, you're juggling all that as well, and trying to keep up with the socials as well. So like, it's part of who you are. So people need to realise that as well.
Yeah,
you know?
totally, without a shadow of a doubt.
Keith obviously mentioned there the airline industry. How did that come about? Like, and how has that progressed? And obviously, you know, you've been able to incorporate it probably as well.
Yeah, into everything. So I came back from Australia, and what happened was I went back to one of the jobs that I was in before, and I just wanted a change. I just wanted something so new. And I just said, you know what? And I took, like, I think back now and I'm like, obviously I didn't have kids, so it didn't matter. But I took a 3-month contract, lads, like a 3-month contract, knowing that it would end. And I took the 3-month contract, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I went off, did a ski season, you know, young and free. And
why not?
so why not? So went off and did a ski season, living my best life. And then I came home, and then I was permanent seasonal then. And I literally, when I mean to say, I joined for 3 months and I'm there 8.5 years later. Brilliant. And I absolutely adore my job. Like, I love it. Like, there's no, like, I just, even today, like I said to you this morning, like I'm up since 3:30, but I didn't care. I like love my job.
We've seen you posting there, you know, off to Lapland, you know. Back, was that one of your first?
Yeah, one of them
back?
Back after a couple of months off. Yeah, no, I obviously just over and back, unfortunately. Yeah. I would definitely love to take the kids to Lapland, but it is so cold. So Hugo complains about the cold here. So if I you know, took him to -17, I think he'd have an issue. So
cold, it's hot.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard balancing? All the
it's definitely. It's getting easier. It's definitely getting easier. The kids are getting older. You know, I've got a few things put in place now at work, and you know, it's definitely a lot easier now. It's getting easier. You know, I keep having to think, like, you know, it's going to get easier. It's going to get easier, and it is. So juggling them, you know, between having the kids on certain days, working on certain days, you know, and then juggling the online, you know, all in between. I try and do that when the kids are in school, and then I really, that's since COVID as well. I try and be present with them, you know, not be on my phone. I'm very conscious. Lily Lily would have said to me a few years ago, and this is like, you know, shunny 4 back then, you know, about the phone and that really,
But
you know.
I get that now, like, because obviously the podcast and I'm
Yeah,
doing
well,
the
come on now,
editing.
Steve-O, you know.
Yeah, my young
clap
lad's
yourself
5,
on.
you know,
Yeah.
and he's like, Daddy, why are you always on the phone?
Yeah.
And it does, it breaks your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and it does, it sort of knocks you.
It does.
But then you get back into it then again, and then you start to think like, right.
No, just do it when they go to bed now.
Yeah,
I really do. I honestly, lads, I have made it my business. Like, I might take videos and whatever in the day, but like, I will go to bed. Like I was messaging you last, I was lying down with them, putting Hugo to bed, and I was like really not trying to pick up my phone. I was like, wait until he's asleep. Straight out of the bed, like, do my bits that I need to do, make lunches and then back to bed. Like, do you know, I really do. That's like my big thing when I have the kids is on the phone when they're asleep.
Yeah. It's like that, the planning that comes into obviously motherhood, you know, parenthood, the whole lot. Like, you then transition that then into actually event planning. And I've seen like on your socials, you know, you're trying to get back into event planning. You used to do it a while back. You've got Nulla Gone Bon now.
I know.
I'd like to let our listeners know about that. There's still tickets for sale.
Yeah, there is. There sure is. So I'm doing my first event since 2019, which I'm actually, do you know what? I like even thinking about it. I'm so nervous. Like, I could have 30,000 people or more watching my stories on a daily basis and I pick up the phone and I'm not one bit nervous. But like knowing that these people are in front of me, I don't know what I don't know. Like, and these are all people that obviously have bought tickets to come and enjoy. But the event is on the 4th of January. It's on the Betsy and Swords. I absolutely love the Betsy. You know,
it's cool.
Betsy.
Love it. It's cool.
It's gorgeous. So it's on the Betsy and Swords, and we're going to have Mark Fennell. He's going to be. It's obviously the 4th of January. So he's going to do a thing on mindset and motivation. We have celebrity makeup artist Danielle Mahan. She's going to do a big demo on the day. We've got like my local hairdressers. I want to incorporate like local, like obviously Swords is where I lived for quite some time as well. So my local hairdresser, and then we've got a few influencers. So we have Michelle Fox Ryan and we have Siobhan Magali. They're going to come. We're going to talk about mums and influencers and, you know, doing what we do online, juggling, being an influencer. And so, yeah, it's going to be a great day out. And the Betsy are the main sponsor. We've loads of sponsors on board and it's going to be a great day. But yeah, the tickets are available on Eventbrite. So if you, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
For any of our English listeners or for anybody else that's not from around Ireland, Nulla Gone Bon, what's it mean?
Women's Little Christmas. So Women's Little Christmas with me. So it's actually not on that day, but I wanted it to be obviously at the weekend for, you know, the women to let their hair down, you know.
The second one for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's going to be a great day. And as I said, Mark Fennell is going to be there. So I do feel like he's going to be a great, it's going to be a great way to set it off. Yeah.
Obviously Christmas episode.
Yes.
We're all into the celebrations at the minute. It's Christmas week.
I got you some celebrations.
Fans up.
Yeah.
The Guinness is bought, you know. The multi-packs are bought. Everything's bought. And everybody has traditions and, you know, around Christmas time, what would be like a tradition that would happen within the Devlin household around Christmas?
Well, do you know what we always do? We always go out. Well, we always like Tori and Hugh the three of us will always go out like a couple of days before Christmas. So I'm trying to organise it on the 23rd. Now, the 21st might happen because we might go to Paul Webster. That's going to be going to
be a great gig.
Yeah, it is. Now, I think I've got work on the 22nd, but we could jivvy it around, you know? We definitely make sure we always have a Christmas night out. I think it's always good. Remember back in the day, O'Shea's and everyone used, that was great. Like, I think back to, you'd always go on Christmas Eve and then everyone would be there. You'd see people you hadn't seen in years. I remember seeing like back in the day, seeing like ex-boyfriends like so many years ago. But so just going out and just doing that. And then obviously now I have my kids. We, without a shadow of a doubt, we have like matching PJs and, you know, Christmas Eve box, and the kids know and they get to open one present on Christmas Eve. And it's lovely. It's more magical now that obviously
the kids.
You have kids. You know, I do think that it becomes a lot more like Christmas, you know, whereas back in the day it would have been like piss up.
You piss up
with your brother
meet
and
the
sister,
friends.
you know. Yeah.
My thing now is I throw them in the car and we go around all the estates and look for the best.
Oh, that's a really
best
good idea.
Decorations, the best lights,
Yes.
and then we try to gauge them of who's the best ones. We pick the top three, like, you know what I mean? So,
you'll have to give me some tips now on where the best houses are in Balbriggan.
it's all around Fancourt Lights.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Is that where they are? Yeah.
The affluent areas.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm telling you now, I will get them off you.
yeah.
Definitely.
No, that's a good one because, like, you know, like we would go around. Like I would have started Adriana's 10 now. Like, you know, like that would have been a thing, and she would have brought it up. She's like, remember, Daddy, we used to go around, and I know it's like, can we go around? Like, so
Yeah.
You have to now.
Yeah, so now it's trying to bring the young lad Elliot in as well, and trying to get the same traditions, which is good, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so
Absolutely. And do you know what? This is the thing, like I watch, obviously you've 15-year-old, but like I watch my friend, her daughter's 16, the other one's 13, and before you know it, they are that age. And I do think, like, you know, they're both girls, and, you know, and I do think, like, before you know it, they're
exactly.
You know,
gone,
and this is the thing, I think, so cherish them times. And like, even like Hugo, always, like, he could be in another room in the house and he's like, Mom, I'm like, yeah, and he'd be like, I love you. And I'm like, you know, that melts me.
Yeah,
Thinking,
yeah.
there's going to be a day where he's not going to say that.
They're few and far
You know,
between.
so
and,
I'm cherishing these times of them being small, because I know what happens.
Is there a Christmas movie that you watch without fail?
That's a good one. That's a good one, actually. Yeah.
A Christmas movie that I watch. I love The Holiday.
I was going to say the same.
Holidays.
I'm roped into The Holiday
Are you?
because of the lease. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, like,
Jack Black.
It's great.
you
Yeah.
know, Jude Law.
Yeah.
But it is one of those ones that it's not your, you know, standard Christmas
lads.
film. It is a romance. But it's good. Like,
Well, this guy, I met this guy recently, and I swear, if I close my eyes, he was Jude Law, and I swear to God, I nearly fell in love with him just because of his accent. And he was handsome anyway. But yeah, The Holiday is, I just think, and it's all the songs in it, and it's the whole storyline. You know, I think that's based off a true story. I think
I'd
don't
say it
quote
happens
me.
every day of the week.
Yeah, but I do think it is based off a true story.
Hallmark stuff.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It's gorgeous.
Airbnb
I'd be
thing.
controversial. I'd say Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah,
Is it a Christmas film?
Really?
No.
No,
No.
Nakatomi Tower, you know?
Come on now. Give us a
Based around
Christmas.
Christmas time, so
It has to be Elf.
Yeah.
It has to be Elf.
Well, do you know what I'm going to? The drive-in movie is on this Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in Emerald Park, they're doing like
Oh,
retro.
yeah,
yeah.
So you go and just drive in your car.
Oh, that's
That'd
a
be
good
Romantic
one.
date for you there.
That'd be cool, yeah.
There you
Bring
go.
the missus,
Yeah,
Good show.
Callum in the back.
yeah.
And
Camp mode.
Xmas dinner. What's on the plate?
Do you know what? Like, I'm just all the regular stuff. Can't do Brussels sprouts. Allergic.
Yeah.
Get away out of that. I do like a bit of sweet corn now. I know that's a bit like.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, and I do love Yorkshire puddings. I do love them. I know they're
I got
not.
stung one year now. The father-in-law
What?
had cut up these chips. I thought they were chips, like,
Right?
Oh, no.
Oh no, I know what you're going to say, parsnips.
yeah.
Oh, please.
Knew you were
Had
going to
them
say that.
fried and everything, and they looked like proper chips. And I had
Yeah.
gravy over them and put them in the mouth, parsnips. Fried.
Lovely,
Yeah,
gorgeous.
No, just
You either like
No,
them or you
no,
don't.
Christmas
There's no in between.
No.
Monkey, you're not telling us much now. Come on.
No, I know. I have the best one. Save the best to last.
Right.
This is a shout out to Jen's brother. So Jen's brother's out there, like, you know,
Okay.
he'll go for anything. Did you ever hear of turducken?
No, what's
It's
that?
turkey, duck, and chicken. All
Rolled.
rolled.
bone
Yes,
rolls.
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Wow.
Turducken, that's what they had, and it was horrible. So
Oh,
Sounds
I don't do it, like.
sounds like something out of Captain America or something.
brilliant.
Durkin.
That's what it sounded like, actually.
Stop. That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, I'm just on basic. It's turkey, ham, gravy.
Yeah, no, I'm the
roasties.
same. And just my kids are going through the sweet corn phase, so I feel like we're going to have sweet corn.
Same,
And
It's a sweet
yeah,
corn
I don't know what it
Christmas
is.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's been amazing. And look,
Look.
if we ask each guest when they come
Okay.
on to add a song to the Spotify playlist.
Oh God.
I don't know if you want to go for a Christmas one or if you want to go for just something.
Oh.
Paul Webster. So.
A Paul Webster song. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. What will I put?
Maybe you can have two. Maybe pick
No.
a one and a Christmas one.
No, do you know? Well, yeah, okay, let's go with two, right? So I'm obsessed. I love Giroud's Sandstorm.
Okay.
What a
Class.
tune. Does that not
Yeah,
take us
yeah,
back to
yeah,
like
It
us
was,
back in the day?
we didn't actually mention that last week, yeah.
Yeah, that is a good one. And This Christmas by Picture This.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Love Picture This.
Nice.
So yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah. 100%.
there you go.
Thanks for coming on, Ethan.
Thank you for asking
having
me.
you
I'm
on.
honoured.
Yeah.
Great catching up.
Oh,
Merry
definitely.
Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And 2025.
Yeah, hope
Roll on.
it's yeah. Listen, lads, say la vie, goodbye to 2024,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Might see you down at Paul Webster.
you absolutely will.
Take it easy, everyone. Have a good one.
Thanks, Eva.
Thank you.